Today's Thursday, it's the 20th of March, it's 2025, and we've come down to Dureta just to check up on the progress that's been made and its demolition and reconstruction. And I need to say, it's the first time she's been down here with me. Normally I come down on my own, so she's discovering this for the first time.
I've just seen a dragonfly flying around.
Now this is the main building, or what I would consider to be the main building of Dureta, and originally it was going to be refurbished and turned into an old people's home, but then the engineers and the architects went into it after it had been emptied of all of its patients, and they decided that it was not suitable for refurbishment, and decided that the more realistic idea was to knock the thing down and start all over again. That's actually some years ago. This is like, now we're talking about 8 years ago when all of this was decided, and it's been in the demolition stage pretty much ever since then, and it's sort of been very, very slow progress. But things have actually started to speed up this week, and we've started to see the first signs of demolition. So the work began on the demolition of this sort of semicircular part of the building on Tuesday, and the project is expected to take some months. It's not expected to be finished until August, and so the reason for that being that there was a lot of asbestos and other things that needed to be removed, and that's all now gone, and so the demolition can start. So it's going to be started at this end, look at over onto this side. Some of it's already been knocked down. That looks to me as though it's been suspended, because yesterday they had an accident and a big chunk of metal fell down onto a vehicle and it trapped one of the workers inside. So I guess the health and safety people are now in there just checking it all over. But once the demolition resumes, they're going to be having some water sprayed on it to prevent dust and stop disturbance to the people around here. The demolition is expected to be completed by August, and then the construction can begin on building A of what will be the future Dureta social health complex. This will house about 300 beds, an outpatient area for 80 patients a day, another for 30 patients with behavioural disorders, palliative care teams, and the new offices for the blood bank are going to be there. The project for this building, that's building A, has been designed and prepared since 2019, although it's been updated, but the corresponding tender process has not yet been opened. Work is already underway on what will become building B in the southern part, and that's the one I've actually focused on in the past. That building will house the health centre and 240 patients, among other facilities. It's predicted that the health centre will be completed by August of 2026, while the rest of the infrastructure could be operational by the end of the year. The total investment of 180 million euros, and this is part of the Ministry Health's infrastructure plan, which has a budget of 450 million euros. Now this is the end where the demolition's already started, and you can see up at the top here all of this has been now knocked down. But as you look a little bit lower down, you can see where some of the metalwork has fallen onto the digger, crushing the cab, trapping the worker that was in there, and he's obviously being taken off to hospital. So that's going to delay a little bit the work in progress. All of the front part that was projecting out has now been removed, and so it's now just the main sort of semicircular part that's going to be demolished. Once it is demolished and cleared away, then they can start to work on the front part where the buildings are going to be constructed. This is where the work has started, but unfortunately has now had to be stopped while the investigation goes on, and there's the one where metal fell on. It's the big piece of machinery. Just hope the worker was not seriously injured. I think he was trapped, but not heard of any injuries. Behind this building we've got major construction work underway now, and this is where the outpatients was and the maternity block. They were knocked down a long time ago, and construction work here is progressing really quite quickly now, and we can see walls are actually going up. You can actually see in there some of the pipes that may well have had asbestos. There's all sorts of insulation in there, but obviously all of that had to be cleared before they could start the main demolition, and now we're going to have to wait for the rest of that to be demolished. When they did start the demolition, they had another crane holding up what looked like a curtain. This is it on the ground here, and that was to protect any debris from falling over and damaging any of the new construction. So that's phase A up there. Actually, sorry, B, blocks B. There'll be blocks B, 1, 2 and 3, I think. And over here we've got blocks B, that's B1, B2, and what I haven't seen before is actually they've started work now on B3. There's also going to be lots of underground parking here, which is why they dug, I think, such a big hole. There's a huge hole that was dug, and that will be for the parking. Well, when it's all done, this is what they're hoping it's going to be looking like. This is phase 1. This is the blocks B1, 2 and 3. And, well, this is due to be finished in August, not this year, but August of next year. Well, while the work has begun and on the demolition of this semicircular building and the construction of the B blocks, if we come round this side, this is where the old people's home is supposed to be being built, and I guess if work had gone to schedule, it could actually have been finished by now. In fact, it's just been stopped completely. Nothing is happening here at all. No work's been done, and not even sure that the new contract has been assigned. But you can see just by looking at it that well, some of the work that has been done is going to actually have to be ripped out, and all of that is going to have to be done again with some new materials.
What it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, come over just a little bit over to this side. You can see that's the company that probably went bust, and this is what they're hoping it's going to look like. I'm sure it's going to look very pretty when it's all done, and certainly looking at the pictures online that I've seen, many of them do show it to be a very pleasant looking place, but it doesn't look as though it's going to be finished anytime soon. Well, I hope you found this interesting. I'll come down again in another couple of weeks' time to see what progress has been made. Well, thanks very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.